Welcome to today's journey through time. Imagine a vast, beautiful land filled with forests, lakes, wild animals, and mountains, but no people. This was America, 16,000 years ago. Let's travel through history to discover how the United States was born, how it grew, and how this land of opportunity became home to over 300 million people. Chapter 6. The Civil War. A nation. Divided by the mid-1800s, the United States was growing rapidly. But one deep problem divided the country: slavery. The southern states had large cotton farms. They needed many workers and used African slaves. But the northern states were different: more factories, more cities, and most importantly, they were against slavery. In 1860, a man named Abraham Lincoln became president. He was from the Republican Party, which did not support slavery. The southern states were very angry. They didn't want the government to stop slavery. So South Carolina left the United States in December 1860. Soon, 10 more southern states followed. They created a new country called the Confederate States of America. On April 12, 1861, the first shots of the Civil War were fired at Fort Sumter. The war lasted 4 terrible years. More than 600,000 Americans died, more than in any other U.S. war. In 1863, Lincoln made a famous speech, the Emancipation Proclamation. It said that all slaves in the southern states were now free. Finally, in 1865, the North won the war. The southern states rejoined the United States. And slavery was ended forever in the U.S., but the war left deep wounds and a long road to healing. Chapter 7. Westward Expansion. The Wild Frontier. After the Civil War, America began to grow westward. People dreamed of new land, gold, and opportunity. The U.S. government gave land to settlers, and thousands of families traveled west in wagons. But there was a problem. Native Americans lived on that land. As more settlers came, there were fights, battles, and broken promises. The U.S. Army pushed Native Americans onto small pieces of land called reservations. At the same time, the Transcontinental Railroad was built. It connected the east and west of the country and made travel much faster. By the late 1800s, the U.S. had truly become a coast-to-coast country. Chapter 8. The Industrial Revolution, a Changing Nation. In the late 1800s, machines changed everything. Big factories were built in cities. People left farms and moved to work in factories. New inventions like the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell, electricity, and the light bulb by Thomas Edison changed daily life. America also welcomed millions of immigrants from Europe. They arrived through Ellis Island in New York, hoping for a better life. But life was hard. Cities were crowded. Factory work was long and dangerous. Still, many worked hard and built a new life in the land of opportunity. Chapter 9. America becomes a world power. By the early 1900s, America was strong. In 1898, the U.S. went to war with Spain and won. It took control of places like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. In 1917, the U.S. joined World War I. They helped win the war for the Allies. After the war, people wanted peace and fun. The 1920s were called the Roaring Twenties. Jazz music, dancing, and new fashion became popular. But then came a crash. Chapter 10. The Great Depression. In 1929, the stock market crashed. Businesses failed. Banks closed. People lost jobs, homes, and hope. This period is called the Great Depression. It lasted for 10 years. President Franklin D. Roosevelt created a plan called the New Deal. It helped people find work and gave the country hope again. During this time, Americans learned how strong and brave they could be, even in hard times. From an empty land to a powerful country, America's story is filled with struggle, hope, and change. And along the way, millions learned, built, and dreamed. Thank you for watching. If you want more episodes like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next chapter of Learn English Through History.